Arkansas' streaming news leader. This is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Welcome everybody to THV 11 Plus on this Thursday morning. Hope it is off to a great start as you get ready for work, get ready for school. Hey, you may have the day off today. You may just want to sleep and get your headlines, your weather, and your traffic. So good for you.
And we've got your weather and your traffic taken care of, both of which are a little active at the moment. Tracy will fill you in, and Ashley will get you going on the roads.
That's right. Yeah, we did have an accident in Morrilton, but that just cleared. So good news. If you're driving on Interstate 40 westbound, looks like that's all cleared up, so no issues there.
I give you full credit.
Oh, do you? Yeah, just for telling you about it. But look at this.
I don't give you credit for this.
No, the sun isn't even up, and look at all of this traffic on Interstate 30. This is around Alexander here. We're seeing some flashing lights there. I think that's just a truck going through. But yeah, it's not fun when you see all of these slow-moving headlights before the sun even rises. So this is what's going on there. Closer look at how slowly it's moving in some spots here in the metro area. We're seeing the North Terminal interchange first. This is around the interchange there at I-30 and I-40, and you can see we're having some slowdowns. Not too bad just yet, but where we were just looking on our live traffic camera, it's moving at about 45 miles per hour there on 30 eastbound. Right before you get to Alexander, looks a little bit better by 1 mile per hour actually if you're getting close to the 430 interchange. But yeah, we're definitely seeing some slowdowns on Interstate 30 already this morning. Our drive times into downtown Little Rock, though, if you're coming through I-30 from Saline County into downtown Little Rock, still only says 20 minutes. It looks pretty good. Conway, Benton, Cabot, across the board. So Tracy, I don't know. Are we seeing some weather issues on our roads just yet, or are we going to see those soon?
Well, we are not looking necessarily for the rain to start anytime soon, but we are seeing some of that fog out there. Visibility is down to about 3 miles of Little Rock Airport, and we've seen on some of our cameras, of course, and down a little bit. If you are headed, again, Pine Bluff area, you're certainly seeing that. Maybe you're coming in from the Stuttgart area off to the east, still seeing that fog this morning. Now, we should start to see that clear, but we are expecting, again, that potential for some severe weather. We are looking, again, a lot of it starting to ramp up over there in Oklahoma, still making its way through. We're not seeing a lot of that that's on the radar right now reach the ground. Mainly just fog out there this morning. So if you're having to use your windshield wipers, again, it's those lower clouds out there as you're driving through them. But today and tomorrow, we are going to see again that risk of severe weather. We could see some damaging winds, some gusts of around 60 miles per hour, and a very, very low threat for an isolated tornado, but it's there today and tomorrow. So stay weather aware again and make sure you have ways to receive information, and we'll be here on all the platforms to make sure you are staying safe and updated. It is 59. It's already very warm, and you know, in comparison with the fact that it's January and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, we're going to see a lot of 60s already. Now those winds are going to pick up today even outside of the storms, and we could see some gusts upwards of around even 30 to 35 miles per hour. So yeah, make sure you hang onto your hat and as you're heading out today, because it's going to start to get a little breezy. But those highs, yeah, 71, 75. We want the sun to stay away today, but we'll keep you updated what to expect again from this severe weather threat and the nicer weather that is headed our way this weekend.
New questions this morning after a federal immigration agent shoots and kills a woman in Minneapolis. Eyewitness video shows ICE agents surrounding the SUV during a traffic stop. As one agent tries to open the driver's door, the vehicle starts to pull away, and seconds later, another agent fires into the car, killing 37-year-old Renee Good. The Trump administration says the shooting was self-defense, but state and local leaders dispute that account. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has the story with a warning. The video may be difficult for some viewers to watch.
Check a pulse.
No, back up now.
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen,
care.
we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they?
In eyewitness video, ICE agents in Minneapolis begin to surround a red SUV. As the driver is ordered out, the truck appears to reverse, then pull away. Another agent fires into the SUV, killing the driver, identified as 37-year-old Renee Good, a U.S. citizen.
I hear 3 gunshots, and then I hear a car crash.
The Department of Homeland Security is calling the shooting self-defense.
Our officer followed his training.
Secretary Kristi Noem says the driver had been, quote, stalking agents all day and used her SUV in an act of domestic terrorism.
She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry disagrees.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull.
As some held a vigil to honor Renee Good, protests broke out in Minneapolis and beyond. White House border czar Tom Homan told CBS News he's waiting to see the results of the FBI's probe into the shooting.
Let the investigation play out and hold people accountable based on the investigation.
As state and local leaders amplify calls for ICE to leave Minneapolis, DHS says their operation will continue. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The ICE agent who shot Renee Good has not been publicly identified. Christy Noem, who you just heard from, says the agent was taken to the hospital, treated, and released. The Department of Homeland Security also confirms the same agent was involved in a separate encounter with an anti-ICE protester back in June. We also reached out to Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton to get his thoughts on this incident. He tells us he has seen some of the video, but wants to hear the facts first. However, he did state he usually sides with law enforcement.
I usually give the benefit of the doubt to law enforcement. I certainly don't rush to condemn them in these situations, whether it's our local police officers across the state or immigration authorities who are carrying out very difficult tasks targeting illegal alien criminals. I will say this, though. Whatever you think of local police or state troopers or immigration authorities, you shouldn't interfere with law enforcement operations.
The Republican senator has presented recent legislation that gives harsher penalties to people who are convicted of interfering with law enforcement investigations.
American forces carry out another high-stakes operation, seizing 2 sanctioned oil tankers linked to Venezuela as part of a growing campaign to pressure the country's interim government. The Trump administration says the seizures give the U.S. leverage over Venezuela's rich oil resources following the arrest of former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. A new CBS News poll shows Americans are split on using military action in Venezuela, yet 70% say the administration has failed to clearly explain its plan. President Trump, in a new interview, did not give a timeline for U.S. involvement, saying, quote, "Only time will tell."
We need answers as to how long this is going to last. We need answers to how many troops, how much money, are there guardrails?
The president says he also spoke Wednesday with Colombia's president, Gustavo Petro, who called to talk about drugs and ongoing disputes. Petro agreed to a White House meeting, telling supporters, quote, "We can't let down our guard yet."
6 months after a Pine Bluff mother vanished, her family says they are still holding on to faith and her smile.
New court documents are bringing some emotion, but not closure, as police move forward in the case of Joynell Brandon.
THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us now with more on the charges and the family's ongoing fight to bring her home.
Well, Karen, Hayden, 6 months later, and Joynell Brandon's smile remains a source of strength. For her daughter, Markesia Johnson, it's a reminder of who her mother is and why her family refuses to stop searching for Brandon. Months after Brandon was last seen, investigators say new evidence has led to serious charges, but her family says their search is far from over. Pine Bluff police say Brandon was last seen on Fluker Street. Reports show Johnson dropped her mother off at a home on this street, expecting her to return later. But the next morning, she never came home. That same report says Brandon was last seen in a white box truck with 30-year-old Tony Thompson Jr. Months later, police say they found Brandon's blood inside that truck, along with the shell casing and DNA allegedly linked to Thompson. Thompson was charged last week with first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. Yesterday, he appeared before a judge for his plea in arraignment, with Brandon's family watching from the courtroom. For Joynell Brandon's family, they say every day without answers has been painful, but they say her love and faith continues to guide them.
She wouldn't want us sad. She would tell us we crazy for crying. What y'all crying for? That's what she would say. My overall goal is to bring her home by any means necessary. So, like I always say, our motto, forever screaming, bring Joynell home until we get that reunion.
Now, police say the investigation is still ongoing and Brandon's family continues to ask anyone with information to please come forward. Today would have been Jonelle Brandon's 44th birthday. MJ says the family will hold a balloon release in her honor. We'll have more on that event later this evening. But for right now, for THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
Certainly thinking of that family on what have been her birthday. Tamer, thank you. Switching gears this morning, drivers in Arkansas now have a new tool to help make traffic stops calmer and safer. The state is offering blue envelopes for drivers on the autism spectrum and green envelopes for drivers with a diagnosed mental illness. Each envelope holds a driver's license, registration, and insurance, along with clear instructions for both the driver and the officer making the stop. Officials say the color-coded folders are designed to improve communication, reduce confusion, and increase safety for everyone involved. The envelopes are free and available statewide at Arkansas Revenue offices.
Time now 7:10. New numbers are in from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they show the U.S. job market remains tight with fewer hires and fewer layoffs. Job openings fell to more than 7 million at the end of November, the lowest level in more than a year. In Arkansas, the unemployment rate went up just over 4% in October as the state works through delayed data tied to the government shutdown. The rate is still below the national average, though it is up half a point from a year ago. The latest federal report also shows layoffs eased in November, with more workers quitting, often a sign of growing confidence. Now let's check in with Ashley King and a look at the traffic out there this morning.
Yeah, so there's an accident that I wasn't able to get a good shot of, but looks like an accident reported on I-Drive here at the 430 interchange right there at 40, 430, exit 147. And this is a view of that area, but it could be that it's just right around that curve there and I'm unable to see it. But do want to show you just so that you can know what to expect if you are driving in this area on your morning commute. So again, this is I-40 eastbound near exit 147. It says the right shoulder and the off ramp is partially blocked there. So just be aware that is a possibility if you're going to be driving there. Also, we're seeing it start to slow down a little bit here at the North Terminal interchange, just 42 miles per hour. Not bad though if you're coming in at the North Terminal interchange. It is really starting to slow down though here on 30 eastbound through Alexander. You can see moving at 37 miles per hour right before you get to that Alexander exit. So slow anywhere between the 430 interchange back to the Bryant exit. Drive times look like this. They're starting to increase just a little bit coming in from Conway, Benton, and Cabot to downtown Little Rock this morning. And we'll check it again coming up in a few minutes. But Tracy, how is that weather? I know it's going to be a little spicy today. I like that word.
Yeah.
I heard Nathan Scott use it yesterday. Spicy.
And I got it from him. I'll go ahead and give him credit. A little spicy, but just a little spicy, tiny bit. We are talking about a little bit of severe weather later today and possibly tomorrow as well. But we've got to get through the morning time first. We're not really expecting a lot of that more spicy weather to really start to push in until late this afternoon and maybe early evening. But right now we're dealing with a little fog on this commute this morning. If you're coming in from Stuttgart again, it's a little bit low there, looking like a little over 1.5 miles. If you're coming in from Pine Bluff, it's right around 4. Today, hour by hour, we're going to keep those clouds around. Now we're going to see those winds continuing to just be very, very breezy today. We could see some gusts upwards of 30 to 35 now, and we get those few storms in here later this evening. We could see some gusts upwards of around 60, but I wouldn't rule out a little stray shower here and there. But we're going to look for that high today in the low 70s. Again, things are staying very warm, and as I mentioned, those winds, they're going to really start to pick up. This is going to be around 3:30 this afternoon. There's a few of those gusts that are around, again, 30 miles per hour. In northwest Arkansas, they're looking at a few areas that could see 40, but they'll start to ease up a little bit as we're heading into the overnight hours.